Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I'm a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and just stick around. Also, if you need any help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching, email coaching, small group coaching, as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to address a question that many of you have asked from time to time, and that is, what is my specific person thinking when I'm manifesting them? And as a secondary question to that, is thought transmission real? Does thought transmission exist? So I'm going to address these questions in this video today, so stay tuned. So first, let me say that thought transmission, otherwise known as telepathy, is actually very, very real. It's a very real, very well-known phenomenon. It's been well documented, it's been studied scientifically as well, and it's been proven scientifically. So it is very, very real. What you're thinking, what energies you put towards another person, no matter what the physical distance might be between you, that's very important. Whether they live across the ocean from you, in another country, in another continent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one bit. Your thoughts and your energies are still reaching them. They're still going through. And there is one very specific and simple reason for that. And that is because of the oneness that we all share. We all share into the same consciousness. We are all a part of the one consciousness that we all share, that is the core of all creation. And we are all, each one of us, individual expressions of that one consciousness. And this is why we all mirror each other, that we don't exist in separation, we exist in oneness. This is why our thoughts and our energies actually transmit and interconnect and mingle with one another. And this is why we're ultimately able to manifest whatever we're manifesting, because we're not separate from anything or anyone else in the whole of creation. Neville also wrote about thought transmission, and what he specifically said about that was that no matter how far away we are from the other person, our fixed thoughts of them, our fixed ideas, our fixed assumptions of them that we're holding within are going to create a certain energy that is actually going to reach them subconsciously, no matter the distance. And then, because they have received it subconsciously, they have to objectify that state that we are holding them onto. And they may not necessarily realize how that occurred. They may not know why they have the inclination or the urge to act a certain way, or to show up in a certain way, or to do something, or whatever it is. So that was Neville's interpretation of thought transmission and telepathy, and it's actually a very good interpretation, a very accurate interpretation of how telepathy actually works. And like I said, by now it's been scientifically studied, scientifically proved that this phenomenon exists. We have all experienced it in our everyday lives as well. For example, when we think of a friend who we haven't spoken to in a while, and we wonder, I wonder what they're up to, I wonder how they're doing. And then a few minutes later, a few hours later, a few days later, they end up calling you or texting you or sending you a message on social media, whatever it is. We all have that experience. And that is because of that phenomenon of thought transmission, telepathy, if you prefer. And we all have that everyday, that day-to-day experience with telepathy. So then your specific person is actually no different. Because what's happening is that you are actually holding specific assumptions of them. You are holding specific ideas. You're holding a specific dominant story of them, of who they are, who you are in relation to them, who they are in relation to you, what the relationship between the two of you is. You hold some certain ideas of them and of the relationship with them. And you are holding these assumptions in your consciousness, and then these actually translate into specific energies, specific vibrations, if you like, that actually get transmitted to them through the one consciousness that we all share. So no matter if they might be across the ocean from you, in another country, wherever they are, or they might be next door, they might be in the next block, it doesn't matter. What matters is that your energy actually gets to them, because we all share this one consciousness. They do receive your energies, and these energies are actually created by the dominant stories you hold about them, and they do receive them subconsciously. So there's an important distinction here that I need to make, and something that I need to explain. You will have noticed that I just said they receive your dominant energies that are created through your dominant assumptions, your dominant stories that you're holding of them. They are receiving them, but they are receiving them subconsciously. What that means is they may not be consciously aware of receiving those energies. And in most cases, none of us is actually consciously aware of receiving energies from anyone else, but we still receive it, we still process it subconsciously, we still, most of the time, accept it subconsciously. Now, what happens there is, whatever the dominant story is that you're holding of them and of who they are, of how they're treating you, how they're viewing your relationship, etc., this is what they are subconsciously receiving, subconsciously processing, subconsciously accepting. And whatever we accept subconsciously is what we objectify in the 3D world. So if you're holding a dominant, unfavorable story of them and of your relationship, they actually, if they have accepted it subconsciously, which they will have if that is your dominant story and if that's what you keep projecting, their direction, they have to play it out for you. They have to act it out. They have to play that part. They have to show up as that person that you're holding them to be. Which is why we keep saying it's so important that you actually choose the version of your person that you want them to be, the version of your person that you want to experience, the version of reality, the version of the relationship that you want to have with them, and persist in that story instead. And it's also important that you don't just do that with your mind. Now, the mind is very powerful, don't get me wrong, and thoughts alone do get transmitted, but every thought has an energy. So if you can actually include your heart and your body in imagining that story, and I know that may sound complicated, but it's not. All it means is you have these thoughts, you actually allow yourself to get lost in these thoughts. You allow yourself to get saturated in these thoughts, because that is going to produce within you an energy that is going to be transmitted towards your specific person. And that is then the energy that they're going to receive from you, okay? And if that is the dominant energy that they're receiving from you, especially if that happens over a little while, over a few days, a few weeks, a few months, however long, that is the dominant energy that they have to accept, and that is the dominant energy that they have to act. That is how they're going to show up for you. So then if you're holding a dominant story that is favorable to you, that is aligned to what you actually want, for example, they love me, they want to be with me, they have chosen me, they want a relationship, they want to commit, they want a marriage, whatever it might be that your story is, that your preferred story is, if that is the dominant story that you're holding within, and you're creating those energies that go with that story, that align with that story, and subconsciously transmitting those energies to your person, then that's the answer to your question. That is what your person is thinking and feeling when you're manifesting them. So, like I said, they are only subconsciously receiving it. They might not be immediately consciously aware of it, but at some point, if that is the energy that keeps being projected towards them, and that is the energy that is felt from you towards them, if you keep feeling loved by them, wanted by them, chosen by them, committed to by them, adored, cherished, whatever it is, then eventually, and eventually doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take a long time. It could be very quick. It could be even hours or days, but it could be a few weeks, it could be a few months. So you need to persist in that energy. But eventually, when they think of you, when you come to your mind, their energy is also going to be different towards you. They're going to start thinking about your relationship differently. Their energy, their thoughts, their assumptions, their wishes are actually going to align with your dominant energy. Which is why it's so important, if you want to manifest a specific person, if you are manifesting a specific person, to persist and focus dominantly on all the favorable things that you want to experience. And this is why. Because your thoughts, your assumptions, they don't actually exist in a vacuum. your person is receiving them, and they're receiving them in every single moment. It might take a little while for it to add up into their consciousness. It might take a little while for them to become conscious of how they're feeling, or maybe they become very conscious very fast, but maybe for whatever reason they delay it. Maybe it takes a little while, so you need to persist. But in any event, sooner or later, if that is the dominant energy that you're projecting towards them, if that is the dominant focus of your thoughts, your energy, your assumptions, that is what they are going to play out towards you. So to the question of what they're actually thinking when you're manifesting them, sooner or later, they are going to start aligning with what you're manifesting. So if you're manifesting commitment, a relationship, love, feelings, romance, whatever it is, that's what they are going to start thinking towards you. I love that person. I want that person. They're so amazing. I love being with them. I would love to be in a relationship with them. I would love to be married to them. You know, anything that you're projecting towards them dominantly, eventually they're going to project back to you. They're going to reflect back to you. Remember, they are a mirror. Remember, we all exist in one consciousness. And this is why all this is so important, to actually construct stories and hold stories within ourselves that actually serve us and actually favor us. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.